Pulling a boat in and out of the water, well, it's kind of like going to a dance. Kind of like when you ask that girl who ignored you through all of high school if she'd go to prom with you, and all of a sudden to your surprise she said yes. But then when you got to prom and got out on the dance floor, the next thing you knew, you wound up freezing. Which I feel like is something we see quite a bit down at the boat ramp, where people have confidence they're going to be able to get it done, but then when they get behind the wheel, the next thing they know, they wind up freezing and things don't go their way. Just like some of the things we'll see as people try and pull boats out in this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Now, just backing a trailer up and pulling a boat out sounds like an easy task, but the reality is, it's not quite as easy as most people anticipate. Now, however, going forward with a trailer isn't so bad. Most people can get behind the wheel and figure it out. You just have to remember you gotta take those turns a little wider than you might if you didn't have a trailer behind you, and always have to make sure that you're towing with the proper vehicle, and the vehicle you're using is actually rated to tow the type of vessel and weight that you have behind it. And of course, when you're towing forward still, you need to make sure all your safety equipment's in check. Want to make sure you got those safety chains on the stern and the bow of the boat to make sure that thing doesn't get away from you. And of course, safety chains that are hooked to the truck from the trailer are always imperative as well, because the last thing you want to happen is for the actual trailer to come off and go sliding down the road. That one's never going to end in your favor as well. And speaking of sliding down the road, another thing you're going to want to do is give yourself plenty of distance for braking. That's right, you're definitely not going to be able to stop as fast as you would in your vehicle without a heavy trailer and boat behind you. And the last thing you want to do is go into a situation with too much speed and find out you can't brake fast enough, because if you do that, in all likelihood, the trailer and the boat may find a way to help you brake on their own anyway. Now, as we mentioned, backing up is a completely different beast, as when you're moving forward, the trailer's just gonna follow the vehicle. And when you're backing up, typically if you're not used to backing a trailer up, the trailer's gonna do exactly the opposite of what you would think it's going to do. Now, most people will figure this one out pretty quickly. Some people, it might take them a little bit longer to understand and figure out exactly what the trailer is going to do when they're trying to maneuver around the boat ramp. So one thing you need to be on the lookout for as well yourself when you're down there at the boat ramp is trying to figure out who knows what they're doing and who doesn't. And one way to do this is look for some signs they may be a new boater.
Hey BG, well I got one for you. It's not every day you see your boat tied down with rags.
Now, of course, the signs won't always be obvious, but we do need to always be looking for them, because the last thing you want to do is get around a boater who really doesn't know what they're doing. And all of a sudden, when things do go wrong, you find yourself stuck behind them, and that can create issues for you, whether it's on the road or down at the boat ramp. So whenever you see somebody out there pulling, let's say you're going down the highway and they don't have any straps on the stern of their vessel, maybe you want to switch lanes and get out of their way. Or if you see them trying to load the boat in an unusual manner, maybe you want to step away from them as well, or pull the phone out and go ahead and record it and send the footage to us. Now, we already know that trailer life is not for everybody. I mean, not everybody has a truck, and not everybody wants to go out and buy a truck to try and tow a boat. So you may see some people out there doing some different and unique things to try and get their boat in and out of the water. And some of those things they may do is use a marina and let the pros handle it. I mean, there's no better way to get into that boating lifestyle than letting the pros do all the work for you. It just makes your life so much easier to not have to worry about it, where I can just call and have them launch my vessel and pull my vessel out of the water carefree. I mean, of course, the pros can always be trusted to safely get your vessel out of the water. I mean, if you let them.
Well BG, here we are. Not out of the water yet, still waiting for government paperwork to get its button here. Anyways, it will be collapsing very soon. There's going to be a big storm tonight. At least they got some good water views.
Well, forget the water views, because now they have a fully open sunroom since they never got the paperwork there for Adam and the boys to go ahead and remove the vessel. This was the aftermath. He sent me this picture. This was what was left after that storm rolled through. Now, sometimes it's not going to be about getting the boat off the water. Sometimes it's going to be about getting other things off the water. And in cases like this, I would probably leave this one to the pros as well, as I don't think you could pay me enough to ever even attempt this. But however you decide to get your boat on and off the water, always boat safe, always keep the life jackets at hand, and don't forget the drain plug. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Andrew Anderson, Bob Parker, Alex Poot, Dennis Yanadis, Adam Coolidge, and Anna Rose Pike did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.